Hi guys, we're over in Austria today having a look at some ultralights, and we're at Zell Am See airport, and that's Lima Oscar Whiskey Zulu. Great detailed airport, lots of static aircraft as you can see, and we've got some ultralights. I've put this together in joint FS, so it's overdubbed flights, each one's an individual flight. And so I've flown the planes that we're going to have a look at and some other planes as well, and then I'm playing them all back so that we can see the collection of planes. This airport's great because we've got a lake just at the side of the town. We've also got a gliding club. You may see some gliders. I did fly a couple of gliders around the circuit, and the lake's good because we've got some amphibious ultralights to have a look at. We've got the VGP PowerSolo. It's now got some floats, and there we see on screen we've got the blue mesh Amphibious ultralight, which is a load of fun, and you can see the gliders there going past. Great scene in Austria, and we'll start off with the offering from OSBO and Microsoft in the marketplace, the 103 Solo. This is my latest purchase. The textures on this are really good. It's all very shiny and bright, but it's a brand new plane, so why shouldn't it be? But the texturing is very good, which isn't the case on all of these ultralights. The other good thing that I like is you see a lot of pilot in these open cockpit arrangements, and it's good to see something that looks like a pilot and a little bit of animation. There is a guy who flies the VGP PowerSolo. Some say he's the Stig. He certainly looks like him, and it does detract a little bit. But you can see here the detail, like the instrument panel is nicely detailed, and the engine that lets the some of the others down, the engine detailing is really excellent in the 103 Solo from the OSBO team. All these planes, are good in VR. I think that's the attraction, and why there's so many of them hitting the Simmarket and entering the marketplace, because the visibility is wonderful. They're low and slow flyers, so that gives you the opportunity to see the scenery, to get up and get close, and because they're ultralights, they can land in very short places and give access to the beautiful scenery in the sim. The lake here is also going to show off the access that you can get with the amphibious ultralights, where you can do water landings. Speaking of water landings, here's the blue mesh amphibious ultralight, which looks like a dinghy slung under a wing. I guess it is really. Retractable undercarriage, so yes, it can do hard standing takeoffs. It's got quite a lot of drag with that fuselage, if you can call it a fuselage. And you've got to be careful not to try and climb too soon after takeoff. You've really got to let the speed continue to build up and stay quite low and let that speed build up. I did try and lose the co-pilot. I certainly lost his weight, and that made a difference, but the guy stayed on board. But you can see there that the texturing is very good. Better than I expected for a sort of €10 purchase from Simmarket, and very flyable. A little bit sluggish, and you can't pull any sharp turns or risk stalling on takeoff, like I said. But wonderful for pottering about, getting access into the sim and landing on water, and as we are here, just pottering about, looking at the scenery. You've got to be a bit careful not to give it too much throttle, because she'll want to take off. but you know, really enjoyable. We could do with some water effects, I guess. It'd be nice to see on some of the landings, and but I'm sure that will come. I think we're going to try a takeoff here and gently lift into the air and try and level out and get some speed. I think that's the trick. But very controllable and lovely textures and a load of fun. So I was pleasantly surprised by the Blue Mesh Amphibious Ultralight, and that's on the Simmarket at the moment. Found that around the €10 or £10 mark. Excellent. So we'll have a look at the PowerSolo. This was my first purchase, but it's now got floats, and that comes as a free update. And it's got retractable wheels on the floats, which you can see there. I love this. Apart from Stig, who's flying, I just love the flight characteristics of this. It's a lot more nimble. It's a bit quicker than everything else we're looking at here. And now with the floats, it means you can get access to make water landings on. I mean, this is a massive lake. You could land a goose on here, which I think might show up in the video at some point. But you could land on a much smaller lake in this ultralight. Yes, quite nimble, very responsive. Some of the other ultralights are a little bit more floaty and a little more sluggish in terms of manoeuvres, but the PowerSolo is quite nimble. The new one from Microsoft is quite nimble as well, but the Blue Mesh Amphibian is a little sluggish, and so is the AirLight, which we'll have a look at in a minute. But she lands well. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some water effects. Looking forward to that. But it looks reasonable on the water. It's got the right line of the floats, and looks like she's on the water, which is good. Here's the AirLight. This is available in the marketplace. It was my second purchase, and I bought it because I just got into VR, and everybody said this is the carriage to show off VR. And it's because of the visibility. You do feel like you're hanging underneath a wing, which you are, and you can look down and see everything, and it's fabulous in VR. The other thing that makes it good, either in 2D or VR, is that the textures are that little bit more aged, a bit more weathered, so it's got a real feeling of immersion, that you're in something that's not brand new and done a few miles. Having said that, the textures are very good and polished. It's just that you see on the metalwork there, it's not pristine white gloss paint, and it just feels a little bit more real. The performance, this is probably one of the slower ones, 40-50 knots max, and a little sluggish, but that's the point really, that it will float and glide and let you see things low and slow, and very straightforward to fly, very forgiving, lots of lift, very low stall speed as you'd expect, but this has got flaps on it, and it's ridiculous. You can literally almost parachute down the last few feet with this. It's great fun, and the best in VR, I'd say, just because of the aspect out of the cockpit and being able to look down, and that feeling of actually flying that you get in this sort of realistic environment. Detailing maybe not quite as good as the 103 Solo from OSBO, but not a bad second, and it beats the PowerSolo, which is a bit lacking in detailing. Looking down at those pylons, you really get a feeling that you are hanging in the air, and it's great. So I think this is good scenery for showing it off. We've got some terrain and some contours, we've got some height, we've got some water, and what could be better? Because we're in joint FS session with recorded flights, we've got the blue mesh Amphibious Ultralight up ahead, and we're chasing it. I think the AirLight 103 has got the edge here, but you can see from the floating nature of it that it's very sedate and good fun, and not difficult to fly. Another attraction, I think that's why we're seeing so many of these sort of planes in the sim, and no systems to worry about, and no systems to develop, so the prices are keen. But these are very good, you know, just watching, you know, the basic flight models are good, and very realistic. Just coming in for a bit of an early landing there, but luckily the water is shallow enough, and I think we arranged to meet the rest of the guys who couldn't land on water at this field, so we should see a few of them coming in. PowerSolo there, the one without the floats, and coming in for a land. I'm going to leave you now with a bit of a collection of the bits of the flight and the scene that I haven't been talking about, just to enjoy some of the action. Catch you later. Bye.